And as they do that, we have the forms right here, as Charlie was talking about, and you will be able to see the results of what they're saying on your screen any minute now. So
and it will take some time to read each count because they're lengthy, and they will probably read verbatim each count as the verdict is read.
I talked to one of the attorneys just moments ago, actually, and the butterflies are in the stomach. I mean, no matter which way it goes. I mean, this has been anticipating this verdict for so long, for 5 months, even more than that. So anyway, I would imagine that the Kwame Kilpatrick's family, we saw them, the grandparents are in the courtroom as well. Only the second time that Kilpatrick's immediate family have been in the courtroom. They were only in the courtroom for the closing arguments, and now for the verdict. Again, that's live shot, or that's a tape there of Kwame Kilpatrick entering the courthouse just a couple of moments ago.
Right.
They're going to read the verdict then. This is it. All right, here it comes.
This is it.
Okay. All right, count one, racketeering conspiracy. Kwame Kilpatrick.
Guilty. Bobby Ferguson. Follow it on your screen with us.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Of racketeering, the biggest of the charges.
Let's see if Bernard. This would be
Bernard
it comes.
Kilpatrick.
There's not a lot of testimony.
No
verdict.
Reached.
No verdict.
Is this a win for the feds, Charlie?
Yes, it is a major win for the federal government right now. They wanted the conviction on racketeering. They got it. Major.
Count two, extortion. Bobby Ferguson, guilty.
That's a huge $50 million contract. Huge.
That's the sewer lining contract.
Yep. ML Eric has been in there through most of the whole trial.
ML has been all over this story, so you'll get it all from him and more on myfoxdetroit.com. As we take a look from Skyfox of the federal courthouse in downtown Detroit, let's go to street level. Roop Raj has been standing by. You can see to the left of your screen, there's Roop's truck, and there he is. What's going on right now there, Roop?
Interesting. You actually heard the verdict. You heard people talking about it, and the word was spreading very quickly. In fact, it was viral, if you will. Within seconds, people checking their phones, looking at tweets, and also listening to the radio, hearing the details, and right away reacting. I saw one lady actually putting her arms up in prayer. She was crying, but she says she was crying because the city is finally free. She also said that the city has suffered enough at the hands of corruption, teaching young people terrible lessons, she said. And so she's happy. She's feels very blessed because of this. This gentleman has been standing outside of federal court. Sir, you've been also talking a lot about this. You heard it seconds afterwards. Yes. You're a Detroiter. Your thoughts?
I was very happy and sad. To be honest with you, I wanted the verdict to be guilty.
We're live right now. Kwame's grandfather is walking out of the federal courthouse right now. Let us listen in and see if we can hear something. You know reporters are going to try to talk to him to get some reaction.
It's interesting, too, because...
Okay,
we're listening to Roop Raj right now.
Yeah, I just want to let you guys know that is the grandfather of Mr. Kwame Kilpatrick. You saw him drop him off just a matter of an hour ago, and now he looks a little bit shell-shocked himself, to be honest with you.
I would think that they will have some kind of appellate issue that legal minds more creative than I are going to have to come up with, because I tell you, I think Nancy Edmonds...
Hang on just a second. Let's listen in here. Bobby Ferguson.
Admit now to the people that you're guilty of all this.
How are you feeling now?
Okay. City's a mess, sir. You gonna appeal it?
That's what you did.
You're innocent despite what the jury said? Yes, sir.
All right, he says he's innocent. Here
There's
comes Kwame Kilpatrick. First time we have seen him
say something.
after the convictions.
Anything to say to the citizens of Detroit?
It's a lot of years. Lots of years. Half a century, maybe.
You all right? When it came down, sir, you had sort of a disbelief reaction. Your thoughts?
Excuse me.
What do you say to your kids, Kwame?
Excuse me.
Or the rest of the kids.
What do you say to all those taxpayers who spent all that money?
The babies.
Millions of dollars.
Excuse me.
In a city that's
Are you
broke.
sorry?
Excuse me.
Yes.
How about just that one? Are you sorry? Kwame.
Mr. Kilpatrick?
Are you sorry? Are you sorry? Not so much. There he goes. He's driving off. He's in a Pontiac. There's some well-dressed women. Looks like they were dressed for church. He's sad. He was almost crying on these courthouse steps. Almost crying. Didn't really have much to say. Pink striped shirt. Dressed well as always. But he's just staring off into the sky. He might half a century in prison. I think the full weight of it's finally hit him. But he didn't say, I'm sorry. He didn't acknowledge what he did. So the court, the jury, the judge, they did it for him.
All right, Charlie LaDuff, you can hear us, I understand.
I can hear you.
Great job following him with all of those questions, and he normally will give some kind of a response. Correct me if I'm wrong, but in the past, we have heard him talk, we have even seen him shove reporters out of the way. There was absolutely no response except to just ask if he could move through the crowd.
Yeah, stone-faced. You know, I was looking at him. There were tears welling up in his eyes. I think this hit him, Murray. I really do. Guilty, extortion, RICO, fraud, tax evasion, you name it. He's now got to pay for it. And he was just staring off towards Canada, wondering. Didn't really have much to say. Stunned is what I would say.
All right. Thank you, Charlie LaDuff. Great work out there. And to Amy Lang as well. And ML Elric, who is inside. And we'll be hearing from him a little bit later and throughout the day. Stand by. Let us know who else appears. We'll be back with you live here on Fox 2, myfoxdetroit.com.
I think what that shows is that jury did their job. They really looked at stuff. The government didn't have it on Bernard. There were some other charges that were hung. There were some charges that were not guilty. But I'm really shocked. I mean, that RICO was a hammer. And quite frankly, Charlie, and you and I talked about this off camera, I thought maybe they might acquit on the RICO and go with the underlying charges. Mm-hmm. When they came in with the RICO, I was like, oh, man.
You feel good about it. I mean, yeah. you guys hunted this guy a long time, put a huge case together. I mean, it was overwhelming. You got the RICO. You didn't think maybe last week you were going to get that, right?
You just never know. I learned a long time ago to stop trying to predict juries. You just never know.
All right, Kwame Kilpatrick may be showing up at this very location here. The live Fox 2 camera is outside of a home.
I believe this is his mother's home, Carolyn Cheeks Kilpatrick.
Yeah, and also his sister, Ayanna Kilpatrick, lives right next door. Right. She's married to Daniel Ferguson. That's their house right there. Let's see, Kwame Kilpatrick may very well
I think Robin Schwartz is out there. Robin, can you hear us?
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes, can you guys hear me?
Yes,
several Kilpatrick family members have arrived here at Carolyn Cheeks Kilpatrick's home. Ayanna Kilpatrick's home is also right next door.
No comment. Period. No comment. And you can stand out here all day long. We have no comment. Okay.
Could you identify yourself, sir?
Raymond Cheeks.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Raymond Cheeks, and that's the mayor.
Okay, you just heard from one of the mayor's relatives, Raymond Cheeks. There was another woman standing on the stairway, or that is his uncle, I'm told. There was another relative standing on the stairs of the house yelling for us to get off of the front lawn. Obviously a very tense situation here. As Kwame Kilpatrick's relatives arrive back from the courthouse, as you see, these are there's an elderly man with a walker and several other relatives making their way into Carolyn Cheeks' home.
All right, that's Kwame Kilpatrick's
grandfather. That's his grandfather.
Oh, that's his grandfather?
Yes.
Okay. We understand that Kwame left in this white Buick that we see here in the driveway. He is not here. We can only assume that he has gone to his attorney's office. But, there is that 1:30 hearing, so he's not here at the house.
Now, that's the level of detail that this jury was looking at in those mail fraud charges. Again, very important charges.
Okay. And then wire fraud, this is count 28.
Count 28, the wire fraud, those have to do again with the use of the fax machine, believe it or not, to solicit money for the civic fund. And count 29, then, another wire fraud. But again, on that one, not guilty on count 29, specific with regard to the civic fund. Apparently just didn't look at it.
I want you to be able to read all of these in detail. It's on our homepage, myfoxdetroit.com. On the right side of the page, you'll be able to see that as our coverage continues throughout the day, on air, and of course online here at myfoxdetroit.com. We thank you for being with us this morning.
Charlie, thank you for your insight.
Thank you.
Stay right here. We have much more coming up at noon. Complete coverage. We have all our reporters on this story, as you can imagine. They were inside, they were outside the courthouse, and so keep it right here with Fox 2 and myfoxdetroit.com.